What's up, guys? I'm trying to do this myself. Nobody's home to film me, talk to you. So we're back on jerkbait fishing. Well, yesterday we talked about Smithwick rogues and some stuff I do with those and the colors and why I choose them and everything. We're gonna touch base. A lot of people commented they want to know about mega bass. I've been fortunate enough. I've been throwing mega bass since about 2003, 2004. Right after they were first introduced in the U.S. and had a lot of success with them. This is a bait I probably throw, a range probably 75% of the time when we're jerkbait fishing, all the way from a mega bass 110 to a mega bass 110 plus one. We'll just go through some of the colors. So you got your clear water colors again. In the Ozarks, that's where I live, so we're faced with a lot of clear water throughout the winter and the spring. And again, we throw jerk baits from the months of, starting in November all the way through March and maybe some of April, depending on the weather and the water temperature. But again, this one is the jerk bait. When that water's below 45, this is the stick bait we're throwing. Everybody's throwing it. I played with the RC sticks some. Don't have a problem with them. I like them. I'm just kind of old school when it comes to, I believe in a Mega Bass 110, so that's what I'm going to throw. So anyways, here's some color options. So when your water's clear, again, you go with your translucents. This is a newer Pro Blue. Kind of hard to see with the light. You got your Tennessee shad, about the same one, but you can actually see through the baits. When that water's gin clear, it seems to pick up more bites. Now, there is certain days where they'll bite a solid color. No doubt about that. But a couple of the other, colors that I throw when it's either cloudy outside, nasty, big fish days, or when it's, the water's a little bit dirtier. And I say dirtier, I don't mean dirty. I mean when you can see down 3 or 4 foot. To me, that's dirty jerkbait water. Clear here is when you can see down 8 or 9, 10 foot. So we'll just say lightly stained. But I'll throw solid colors. So another good color, this is just a clown color from Mega Bass. It's good on them nasty, rainy, cold days. And then here's 3 more colors. So my standard is that one right there. That's the Blue Pro by Crank Wraps. Again, it's just a wrap I put over a bait. They're custom templated for these Mega Bass 110s or the RC sticks. They work extremely well. You can do them in the boat, in the shop, in the garage. It doesn't matter. But now I can mimic when I'm twitching over them brush piles or a little piece of structure where there's 1 or 2 fish hanging on. I need to get as real as possible. By doing that, these crank wraps have made that happen, where I'm not mimicking a color that's okay. Now I'm mimicking the real thing. Simply just like this one. This is a black crappie, and then you got a white crappie. We all know crappie live in brush piles everywhere across the United States. So why not give them something that is absolutely the most realistic thing you can put in front of them in the wintertime? And then as spring gets on, maybe more April, and I'm still jerkbaiting, I'll throw like a sunfish or a brim pattern. This is another crank wraps thing. This is actually on an RC stick, a Lucky Strike. But this is good. When them fish start feeding up, maybe start moving up on the bank or whatever. I like twitching that one because they're up there, and then bluegill are pestering them and everything else. So again, this one we actually throw a little different. I throw it on a 6 foot or a 6.6 medium light rod, kind of the same as that Smithwick, but my line varies. This I use fluorocarbon 99% of the time, and I'll range that fluorocarbon from 6-pound fluorocarbon about up to 10 to 12-pound fluorocarbon. I normally twitch with 8 and 10-pound fluorocarbon most of the time, but there's times where I want to get it down, a foot deeper. When you're jumping up in line size from 6, 8, 10, 12, you're getting about a foot. You're gaining about a foot on every line size. So for instance, like these 110s, they'll run you know, that 5 to 6 foot down, depending on how you weight them or whatever. But if they're you know, suspended perfect, you got that 6 foot down, we'll just say. But if you go with 6-pound line in a long cast, now I can get that bait down to 8 foot or 9 foot. Same thing with 8-pound, then I can jump it up. So it really depends on where I'm throwing, what targets I'm throwing at, and how deep I want to go it. You know, sometimes we all think that you want a suspended jerkbait to suspend perfect in the water. But there's times where putting a little lead on that front hook, weighting it to where it slow sinks, you know, is very effective. Again, every day is different, so you have to kind of figure out day to day, unless the weather's stable sometimes. Then you can get away with it. But I've just noticed that every day I'm out is totally different. Whether you're letting it set in the water column, you know, say 30 seconds. There's been days where you just kill it for 30 seconds, and then 2 little light twitches. Some days you let it set 5 seconds in between twitches. You know, twitch, let it set for 5 seconds, then twitch, let it set for 5 seconds. So every day is different. That's something you have to play with every day. It seems like sometimes when them fish are out suspended, you have to let it set a little bit longer. You got to give them a little bit of, you know, they got to see it for a while. It seems like sometimes you can get aggressive with it, where, you know, your twitch, and then you slam a big twitch and then just kill it. It all varies day to day. But again, the Megabass line size is something I play with a lot, where, you know, just depending on what depth. The other one, let me pull it out here. Wasn't ready for this. The other one is the Megabass 110+1. This is a saltwater version. Do not know the color of this. I can't pronounce the color of this is the problem. But it's another one, and my line size varies on this too, everywhere from 6 up to 12-pound line. These pull a little bit different than the 110. You know, I don't think they have the action where it flicks side to side. This is more of, you know, maybe half the action as a 110. But when I'm wanting to get down, you know, if I'm graphing them fish with my hummingbirds and I see them down, like, you know, say they're down 15 foot, then this dude on 6-pound line is gonna get down there, you know, around that 12-foot range, and I know that jerkbait's right above their head, and that's what you're trying to do. Is you're always wanting to get it as close as possible, but you want it above their head, you know, a couple feet, and that's what you're trying to target. That way, you know, they can look up, especially when you're crappie fishing with jerkbaits, because crappie will not go down; they go up. So I kind of put it in as maybe the bass is similar, you know, where they want to look up at something. But a 110+1 it's kind of like that Smithwick Rogue, that deep Rogue I showed yesterday. It's kind of one of them things, you know, it comes out of the box, I don't know, 5 times a year, 10 times a year, you know, when I see them fish down a little deeper. So, you know, again, I hope this helps. We'll keep on doing these more videos, because there's so much to talk about, and I have not got into detail much, you know. But and again, there's so many different jerkbaits out there, from, you know, like I said, your Lucky Craft pointers, you know, your Spro McSticks, which is an excellent jerkbait. They're all good jerkbaits. They all just have a time and place. So again, if you got comments, comment below. I'd love to answer your all's questions. Again, I want to be here for you, and try it out. You know, let you all try out what I'm talking about, and hopefully you got success with that. So comment below, and we'll get another video out tomorrow.